Welcome students. Today we are going to discuss Core Vita contest problem 9. I read problem statement first. The first problem title is Lazy Student. I read the problem statement. There is a test of algorithms. Teacher provides a question bank consisting of n questions and guarantees all the questions in the test will be from the question bank. Due to lack of time and his laziness, Code could only practice M questions. There are T questions in a question paper selected randomly. Passing criteria is solving at least one of the T problems. Code can't solve the question he didn't practice. What is the probability that Code will pass the test? Okay, so here the data is N and M and T. Okay, so totally there are T questions in the question paper. Out of this, Code only practice M questions. Okay, so the question bank consists of n questions. The constants are T is ranging from 0 to 10,000, N and T is ranging from 0 to 1000, and M is ranging from 0 to 1000. Okay, M and T less than or equal to N. Input format. First line contains single integer T denoting the number of test cases. First line of each test case contains three integers separated by T, N, T and M. M is the number of question paper, the question bank. T is the T questions is selected by the Code, and M is the Code practice only M questions. Output for each test case print a single integer if probability is P divided by Q, where P and Q are coprime. Okay. Print P into mul NV of Q modulo 10 into power 9 plus 7, where mul NV is multiplicative inverse of X under modulo large integer. Okay, so we need to solve the problem also, multiplicative integer problem also, multiplicative modulo inverse problem. Okay, this is probability oriented problem, and also we need to solve this one, multiplicative modulo inverse. I will tell how to solve this problem. Here the input is 1, that is number of test cases, I think so, number of test cases. Second line contains three values, that is N, T, M. Okay, if user is giving 1, 4, 2, 1 means output should be 5, 8 zeros 4. Okay, this will be the output. For example, the probability is 1 by 2 for this problem. The output is 5. After applying multiplicative modulo inverse for 1 by 2, we will get value like this: 5, 7 zeros and 4. Okay, so in this problem we are trying to identify what probability that Code will pass the test. Okay, in this case it's much more helpful to ask what is the probability that Code does not know all the T problems he has been presented with. Then the probability of success is 1 minus total probability of failure. Okay, so if you know the failure means you can identify the probability of success. Okay, see here they have asked the question, what is the probability that Code will pass the test? So for the purpose we need to identify this. The total probability value is 1, no, probability of success is 1, no, minus total probability of failure. Okay, the questions he does not know here, U equal to N minus M. Okay, so he practice only m question. No, out of n questions which was asked in the test, the question that he does not know are u equal to n minus m. U is an unknown. So from given data, we need to identify u. The probability to fail for the first time is u divided by n. So out of n questions, out of all the possible outcomes, what is the probability to fail the test? Okay, so u by n. Okay, second time means from this question we remove this. Okay, n number of questions we, because already we have processed one question, means we need to subtract n by 1 n in denominator. Okay, and also the possibility for that is number of questions he doesn't know is u minus 1. So the probability is u minus 1 divided by n minus 1. Here minus 1 we include because we going to get the same question. Okay, so already you have answered for the one question, so we need to neglect that. That is why I use in probability u minus 1 divided by n minus 1. Okay, so the probability to fail for the third time is u minus 2 n minus 2. It goes and so on. Okay, so we need to generalize it, no? So the teeth attempt will be, okay, first attempt, second and third attempt, probability for to fail is it for the first time u by n, second time u minus 1 divided by n minus 1, third time is u minus 2 divided by n minus 2. Teeth attempt will be u minus t minus 1 divided by n minus of t minus 1. Okay, to fail the test, code must fail all the times, no? Okay, so we multiply the probability to fail into one big total by using the formula u into u minus 1 into u minus 2 into up to u minus t minus 1 divided by n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 up to n minus t minus 1. Okay, this is this was my rational number. So in factorial calculation, u into u minus 1 into u minus 2 up to u minus t minus 1 can be expressed as u factorial divided by u minus t factorial. In a similar way, n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 up to n minus t minus 1 can be represented as n factorial divided by n minus t factorial. Finally, the code fails with the probability u factorial divided by n minus t whole factorial divided by n factorial into u minus t factorial. Okay, so if the test has 10 question means and code does not know 9 means he will pass for sure. Okay, so at least one question he will pass. Okay, so this is a formula. By using this formula we can solve this problem. Before that, before showing the implementation, I will tell what is multiplicative modulo inverse. Given two integers a and m, find multiplicative inverse of a under modulo m. This is a problem statement. So the modulo multiplicative inverse is an integer. Actually, it should be an integer x such that ax equal to, that is equivalent to, ax is equivalent to 1 modulo m. Okay, we need to supply a and m such that we need to identify x such that a into x equal to 1 mod m. See here, there are many possibilities, x value of possible values of x. Okay, but that value should be in the range 0 to m minus 1. Okay, the value of x should be in the range 0 to m minus 1, that is in the range of integer modulo m. Okay, I hope you understood the problem. So you have to supply a and m and you need to identify the x such that ax equivalent to 1 modulo m. Okay, m should be, that is x should be in the range 0 to m minus 1. So the multiplicative inverse of a modulo m exists. Actually, it exists if and only if A and M are relatively prime. Okay, relative prime means for if you supply A and M in the GCD, greatest common divisor, that will be 1. So that is relatively prime or co-prime. Okay, multiplicative inverse of A modulo M exists if and only if A and M are relatively prime. That is GCD of A and M should be equal to 1. So I take an example. Here A equal to 3, M equal to 11. I need to identify multiplicative modulo inverse. That is X. So by applying the formula, see here I am applying the formula, value to the formula. Okay, AX 1 modulo M. So 4 into 3 modulo 11. Okay, 4 into 3 modulo 11 is equal to 1. So 4 is a modulo inverse of 3. So we can take, when you take that is 4 into 3 modulo 11 equal to 1. So according to this problem, 4 is a modular inverse, multiplicative modular inverse under 11. Okay, so 15 also satisfies this condition, that is 15 into 3 modulo 11 equal to 1, but 15 is greater than M, so it is not valid. So this is the multiplicative modulation concept. In a similar way, consider A equal to 10, M equal to 17, output is 12. Since 10 into 12 modulo 17 equal to 1. Okay, so 12 is a modular inverse of 10 under 7, under 17. Okay, so we need to implement this before solving the problem. For example, here they have mentioned that if you get the value P divided by Q, means we need to represent the data in terms of P into multiplicative modular inverse of Q modulo 10 807. Okay, in this way we need to represent. If you identify P and Q, means just apply P and Q in this formula. Okay, I will tell how to implement multiplicative modular inverse. So in the formula itself, there is we have used factorial concept now here. So implement that is to calculate factor of a given number. So fact is a function which accepts the one argument, that is n. Since this problem uses large indices, use long data type, return type also long, and the initial fact value is set as 1. You're starting from 1 and ranging up to n, and finding factorial by multiplying fact by I. That is 1 into 2 into 3 into up to n. It was discussed already. Finally returning the fact value. Next, multiplicative modular inverse function which accepts two arguments a and m and returns long. Here I just apply a modulo m. Initially I apply a modulo m. Sometimes a may be greater than m, so that's why I apply a modulo m. In for loop, I starting from 1. Okay, don't start with a 1 0. Starting from 1, it should be less than m, no? Modulo inverse should be less than m. So I just apply x less than m, I plus. I just identify the x such that a into x modulo m equal to 1. That is GCD of a comma equal to 1. That is co-prime. So by using this formula, I can extract x. So it identify the particular number and return immediately. Okay, if it is so, it return immediately. Okay, so there are many improved versions of writing this problem. So for simplicity, I have used this one. So now apply the formula just to get NTM and number of unanswered questions. That is unknown. Okay, unknown question. Y it's a u equal to n minus m. Next, you just identify the numerical part, that is numerator part. P divided by Q, no? Then P divided Q. See, P divided by Q, you have to calculate. But suppose we have formula. This part is P. This part is P. This part is Q. So we need to identify this by using factorial calculation. See here, P part I have calculated by using fat of U star beta of n minus t. Q part is calculated fat of n star beta of u minus t. So I have printed P and Q, and I apply multiplicative model inverse in Q and 1807. Finally I get the result. Okay, which is multiplied by P also as per the concept, okay, which is given in the problem statement itself. I saw the demo for this. This one. So where I supply the value, number of questions in the question 2, question asked in the test, and number of questions answered by the person. So this is the required answer. 12P is 12, Q is 24. This is the required answer. That's all. This way we can solve this problem. Our next problem is salary paid. That is the problem statement. In a country, there are n slabs for income tax which are common for all age groups and genders. As an income tax officer investigating a case, you have the amount of tax paid by each employee of an organization considering the income tax slabs under rebates offered. You need to find the total amount paid by the organization in salaries to the employees to match it with the amount reported by the organization in its filed income tax returns. Information regarding the income tax slab, rebate amount, and the income tax paid by the each employee of organization will be provided. Rebate amount is subtracted from the total salary of each employees. Okay. After that only we need to calculate the tax. Tax is calculated on the remaining amount. You need to calculate the sum of the salary paid to the employees in the year. Here constant is number of tax slabs equal to number of percentage on tax slabs. Okay, so which is ranging from 0 to 160, that is 10 lakh. Input format, first line will provide the amount in each slab separated by space. Okay, second line provide the percentage of tax applied on each slab. First line contains a tax slab, second line provide the percentage of tax applied on each slab. Number of values in this line will be the same as that in line 1, separated by space. Third line will provide the rebate considered. Fourth line will provide the tax paid by each employee separated by space. Okay, so tax paid by each employee will be separated by space in the fourth line. First line contains slab, second line contains tax applied on each slab, tax percentage. Third line contains rebate values. Fourth line contains salary, that is tax paid by each employees. Our ultimate aim is to find the total salary paid by the organization to its employees. The inputs would be like this: 3 lakhs, 6 lakhs, 9 lakhs. So 0 to 3 lakhs we have tax 10%. 3 lakhs to 6 lakhs we have a tax slab 20%. 6 lakhs to 9 lakhs we have a tax that is tax percentage is 30% of salary. Finally, we mentioned rebate is a 1 lakh, which varies, which is not fixed, which varies, and tax paid by each and employees. We need to identify the total salary paid by employees by using the tax paid by the organization, that is employees in the organization. Output will be 5. It is 53 lakhs, I think so. 53 lakhs. So slabs and tax percentage indicate for the salary is, from this example, 0 to 3 lakhs is 0 percentage. Between 3 lakhs and 1 to 6 lakhs is 10%. Between 6 lakhs 1 to 9 lakhs is 20,000. So 20%. Greater than 9 lakhs and 1, tax is 30% only. First, we exclude the rebate from the each employees, and that is a salary of each employee. Okay, just after removing the rebate, there will be a taxable component of salary. Upon taxable salary, apply the slab and the tax percentage logic. Upon completion, one finds the employee's pay amount, that is 10 lakh, 12 lakh, 14 lakh, 17 lakh respectively as salary. So the total salary paid to employee is that 53 lakhs. Okay, so we need to get to know about the tax rules and all and calculations, okay, for solving this problem. So I will tell how to identify the tax and salary paid by the, there is salary paid by the employees. Then total salary equal to, if we wish to identify the total salary equal to, means we just add slab 1 with the slab 1 of upper bound minus slab 1 of lower bound plus slab 2 of upper bound minus slab 2 of lower bound plus rebate and so on. You need to identify this. Tax paid can be calculated equal to tax paid minus slab 1 percentage into slab 1 upper minus slab 1 lower minus slab 2 percentage into slab 2 upper minus slab 2 lower minus and so on. So in this way we need to calculate. Okay, so total salary is calculated like this, and tax paid will be calculated this formula. Okay, so for example, if you user this person is paying the amount 90,000, means first in first slab 0 to 3 lakhs no tax payable. Okay, so 3 lakhs will be immediately initially added. After that, remaining 60,000 is available, no, remaining 60,000 from 3 lakhs to 6 lakhs. We have that is in first slab we don't pay tax, so immediately add 3 lakhs. Next slab from 3 lakhs to 6 lakhs we are 10%. Okay, so immediately we can reduce that is 30,000 from this tax paid. So and we add 3 lakhs to the salary. Again we try to identify remaining tax paid by the employee and calculate the same by using the formula. Okay, so I saw the implementation. Just to include the header file and inside main function, just to get slab as a string and tax paid percentage as a string, because they are not telling the size of the array and all, so they are giving as a string which is separated by the space. So use getters function to get the input. So tax, that is slab value, slab amount may be inputted by using the get string function and tokenize it by using the space separator. Okay, so by using string token function we need to get one by one slab value one by one and convert it to integer by using a to y logic. A to I function is used to convert string to an integer and store into a slab array is an integer. Okay, so until you get null in the string, we will that input, that is while loop, this while loop will executed. For example, if we are giving input like 30,000, 6,000, 3 lakhs, 6 lakhs, 9 lakhs, means until you get the end of string, this string token function will run, and at each iteration it will record the number, okay, by converting into integer. See here. In a similar way, tax percentage also inputted as a string in the range which is separated by the space, which is accepted by using the string tokenizer function and converted into integer and stored into tax paid array. Is also integer. And rebate is inputted by the user. Okay. By using scanner we can get it. Rebate value is an integer. And we need to store this tax paid by the employees. No, for suppose I have created a tax array and tax integer, so that is also a string, which is separated by a space. No, so just to use gets functions to get this tax paid by the employees, and use strings tokenizer function to get those tax paid by the employees and convert it to integer and store into array. While getting the data itself, that is while converting into integer itself, we are just using two iterations. In outer iteration we take tax paid by the employees. Okay, so if I receive first tax and convert to integer, then store into TP, and total salary will be calculated. Okay, so here tax paid is consider tax paid is 90,000. Total salary initially 0, but for tax calculation from 0 to 3 lakhs we are not accumulating it. Okay, so this value may be total salary of, there is a tax slab, first value of tax slab. Okay, you can take this one, just generate it, just slab, you can mention it as slab of 0. Okay, don't mention as a number because it is inputted by the user. Slab of 0. The slab value initially 3 lakhs only, no, for this given input. Okay, 3 lakhs. That first slab value will be accumulated in total salary itself, and just declare a variable which is used for iteration, and IV, that is initial value of x, that is which is available in this slab. Now we are using the loop which is ranging from 0 to I minus 1. Okay, in this loop just add total salary by total salary plus slab minus IV. The slab of L will be first value, it is slab array value minus initial value. Initial value is 0, no, so 0 to 3 lakhs we have we have no package. Okay, so we don't pay any tax. 0 to initial range of slab, so initial range is 3 lakhs, no, so 0 to 3 lakhs minus 0, 3 lakhs only, so total salary will be accumulated. Okay, next iteration, and also here TP equal to tax paid minus tax percentage into slab minus initial value divided by 100. So we need to subtract the, so we have ordered the total salary, no, we need to subtract the tax paid. Okay, so in the TP value, next just record the slab value of L, that is for if L equal to 0 means slab value of 0. Okay, this is used for finding the range, that is slab range, this slab range. Okay, initially you have set as 0, so 3 lakhs at 0 we are identified. Next slab value, the value difference should be identified, no, so for that purpose I have set IV equal to 3 lakhs. So for that purpose I have used this condition. Okay, next if TP tax paid value is greater than 0 means it may exceed that 30% range. Okay, so up to 6% it will be iterate, that is up to, that is tax slab this slab up to 20% slab, this will iterate inside the loop, but last slab is for greater than 9 lakhs or greater than any x value, the tax will be calculated in terms of 30%, no, which is stored in the, which is recorded in the last element in the tax percentage. So I just identify if tax paid is every time you are separating. Okay, if tax paid greater than after completing the loop, if tax paid is greater than or equal to 0 means just calculate the remaining salary earned by the employee. Total salary by using the formula total salary equal total salary into total salary plus 100 into tax paid divided by tax percentage. Okay, so out of there is the salary, total salary, what tax here there is a by using the tax paid, we need to identify the salary earned by the employee. Means just use 100 into tax paid divided by tax percentage, which is accumulated in the salary, total salary itself. Finally, print the total salary. Then we need to identify the total salary paid by all employees. That is paid for the all the employees. So for the post, just use total equal total plus total salary plus rebate. Okay. So at every time just tokenize it. If you find an end of string, just stop it. Finally, we print the total salary of the employees in the organization. Okay. So this rebate value for calculator for all the employees. Okay, which is fixed, no? Okay. In this way we can solve the problem. It's a little bit tricky. Okay. If you know solve tax calculation means we can solve this problem. I show the demo for this. The problem. That we take the sample input. Just to get the input 3 lakhs, 6 lakhs, then 9 lakhs. Then tax percentage will be represented in the second line. Third line accept tax rebate 1 lakh. Fourth line accepts tax paid by each employee 90,000, 1,50,000, 2 lakhs 10,000, then 3 lakhs. Finally, output will be 53 lakhs. Okay, this way we can solve this problem. Here I have ordered a rebate in each and every item, so finally I get 53 lakhs. This way we can solve this problem. Okay. You will see in the next class. Thank you.